All right. So, hello everyone. Welcome to the fifth edition of Adyogi's product webinar, Decoding Adyogi platform. Before we get started, I'd like to ask our attendees to introduce themselves in the chat box. If you're an e-commerce business owner, a marketing professional, a digital marketing enthusiast, or someone willing to explore the Adyogi platform, kindly drop your name and the brand or agency you belong to. And in case you have any specific questions that you would like us to answer today in the webinar, then do drop them down without any second thoughts. So we'll be happy to address them, even if it's related to the topics that we discussed during the webinar or any other question related to your specific business or e-commerce brand, how to scale your e-commerce business. We'll be happy to address them or any random question related to performance marketing. So today's agenda is very simple. We plan to make you a pro in analyzing your website catalog, your product SKUs, and their performance in terms of conversions and revenue as compared to the amount of ad spends going to them. So it is very important to get these basics covered before we get into the festive quarter of Q4, which I'm sure all of you know is the most important quarter throughout the year. So we'll be discussing first, we'll be talking about how to create ad sets on meta ad platforms, how to create niche product sets on the basis of demographic details. Then we'll go on to the catalog optimization bit that we just talked about. And then finally, we'll be talking about the how to use these insights from the catalog and how to implement the same in your ad strategy. So for those of you who have just joined, we would appreciate if you could introduce yourself or drop in your website URL or brand name in the chat box. Just introduce yourself, and also it would also help you in networking with other people who have joined the webinar. So it will also help us gain some insight into what type of audience that we'll be addressing today. So just to reiterate for those who have just joined and set the context for today's session again, we'll be taking you through some catalog level features and some product updates that we've made on the Adyogi platform and that we've built over the course of the past few weeks to help you focus your budgets on products and locations and categories that are working for you and your brand against the ones that aren't. So, all right. I think we should get right into it because we already have a couple of people who have joined in. So, hello everyone. Again, welcome to the fifth edition of Adyogi's product webinar, Decoding Adyogi platform. We are excited to have you all here, and I hope you're all set and have your notepads ready because we're about to have a super informative session on how to leverage the Adyogi platform to prepare for the upcoming festive quarter. So, to introduce myself, I am Muskan and I'm a product marketer at Adyogi. I'll be your host and presenter for today. Along with me, we have Pranav, team lead of the Adyogi product team. So, without any further ado, let's set the agenda for today. Pranav and I will be taking you through some key features of our platform along with their use cases, post which we will have a live Q&A session wherein you can send in your queries in the chat box or the Q&A box, and it can be any query related to the topics we discussed during the webinar or otherwise. So, hope you guys enjoy the session. Over to you, Pranav. Pranav, you're on mute. We would love to hear your voice.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Yeah, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the fifth edition of the Decoding Adyogi platform. Without taking much time, let's just jump right into the agenda and discuss the major use cases that Adyogi can help you to solve and scale up your brand efficiently. Now, right on the agenda for today, we have five agendas currently for you. First is the targeting the right set of people at different locations. Second is the product analytics. And I'm sure that this bit, it would be something that you would love to analyze and understand as to how do I read my product's data, followed by the stop loss feature for products. And then Muskan will be taking us through the Adyogi's revamped smart ads, or let's say the key to efficiently scaling up, followed by what's the roadmap ahead, or what could you be expecting from the platform itself in the near future. So let's just jump right into it. Meta ad sets targeting. So target the right set of people with GA4 level insights. You wish to add target ads on the basis of demographic data. So you have the knowledge or the power of the Google Analytics demographic data on the ad sets creation page. You can use this to include and exclude your countries, states, and cities as per the data available and achieve your precision level of targeting. So, right from reading itself, let's just go into the app itself and let me ask you one basic question. When you're trying to launch an ad, or let's say when you're trying to create an ad set, there are multiple optimization levers that you would want to pick up and you want to optimize on. Location or demographic happens to be one of that key features where you want to target the right set of people at the right set of locations itself. Now, let's say I ask you a simple question. How do you select a location, or let's say, how do you select a state or a region where you want to target your ads efficiently? So even let's say if you go to Meta will only give you, let's say, a location level and an estimated conversion rate. But let's say now, if I want to check multiple parameters of targeting or how my previous ads or let's say my previous assets have performed, there is no way unless and until you have access to multiple data pointers. So now within the platform itself, we have accumulated those data pointers to create a comprehensive location level targeting report for you. And how do you access this report? Just click on the create button and land on the ad set page for Facebook access. Just click here. And you can select your information, you can select the campaigns, but the real jewel of the data lies when I want to select my demographic details. So as for this, let's say client, we can see that at a country level, we have India as the location where your sessions conversion revenue and conversion rate is currently up to the mark. So let's say now there are two ways. Either A, I could target India as a whole or a blanket country where everything inside India or all the states and cities inside India would be targeted. But then this will also lead me to target to states and cities that are currently not converting or not better performing for me. So this is where exactly that optimization pointers comes in, where now after selecting India or any location that you want to target, you would want to now jump into the state section, which contains all the states that are available within that specific country. So now for this case, I have multiple filters and I have multiple countries listed now. So let's say I can sort it basis my sessions, my conversions, revenues, and conversion rate. So let me take a basis the session rate, which is high to low. Now, this is intentionally, this filter, essentially tells me that all those states that have a very high session as per GA4 data. So essentially telling me that these are the states that are getting me the maximum number of sessions, or let's say views on my specific ads. So for this case, I can see that Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Delhi are the states that are my top session states. But now, since my use case could be multiple or my use cases could be different, I may now also want to target basis the conversion or the revenue. So for that also, I have, let's say, a filter which tells me that I need to, sort basis the revenue. So it will pick up only those states that are higher revenue generating states for me. So in this case, again, as the time goes, these four states also happen to be one of those highest revenue generating states. But I can still use the filter to multiple on a multiple scale to filter out my states accordingly. So let's say in case if I've filtered four states, which is let's say your Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, and all of these four states. But even at this specific level, I now want to target at a city level specifically. So let's say even if I pick up Maharashtra, there are multiple cities in Maharashtra that may not be performing as efficiently as let's say certain top cities of Maharashtra or let's say top cities of Uttar Pradesh. So now I want to dig deep and then land on the city section where I now pick up the top converting cities for me. And again, I have the access of the filters where I can pick up my top revenue generating cities. So essentially in this way, I now know that these top converting cities can be picked up to target my ads relevantly. Now let's pick up the major use case as to why do we want to spend so much time on understanding the demographic detail. So let's say in case if the sale is coming up live, and since we're in the second half of the season where your sale will about to go live, let's say if a specific festival is coming up or a regional level festival is coming up, for example, let's say Onam. Now you would not want to target Onam ad set to audiences in the northern part of the country. Of course, you will get certain level of traction, but ideally you would want to target your Onam ad set to let's say the states of Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, essentially. And likewise, for regional festivals in the northern or the eastern states, you would want to pick up only the eastern or the northern states. So this essentially helps you to identify your top converting locations, your hidden locations, as well as your non-converting locations. Apart from this, very soon we'll also come out with a chip-based system where we'll also launch these pre-cohort-based audiences, which will include your top 10 converting cities, your top 10 converting states accordingly. So the moment you sort of click on that specific filter or that chip, it will automatically list down all your top converting cities, states accordingly. You do not need to, let's say, go onto this reporting section and then analyze and filter accordingly. But then that should also help you automate the process of selecting your top converting locations or top converting cities. So this is the power of accumulating multiple data pointers into your demographic location to select the right set of locations that you want to target your ad set. Moving on to the next feature, which is the product analytics. That is unleash the power of the catalog insights. Now, first step in understanding how this catalog works is to identify what is a catalog or what are the top converting and non-converting performance products on your categories. And the second step post identification is to optimize your catalog using your catalog link smart ads, which I think Muskan will be taking up in the second half of the slide. And the third is how do you automate the entire process of understanding that which are your converting categories and how do I automate the entire process. So let's just first, pick up the first problem, which is identifying what category or what product is performing better for me. And why is it important to understand how your catalog or how your products work? So let's understand one basic question. Catalog or a collection of categories from your website becomes the backbone of your brands when you're trying to launch catalog linked ads. So any ad that picks up products from your catalog is a catalog linked ad, and identifying which products are performing and which products are not performing becomes very important. So, again, going back to the app, to the desktop version, let me just go to the product page and let me just go to the funnel view, which cumulates the entire GA data to your product level. Now, basis this, I now understand that I have a list of products, and within those products, I can now sort it basis my views, that is high to low. Now, what I want to do is I want to identify my non-converting products or products that are currently part of my active ad creation process or are currently viewing available to my audiences, but are not getting me the right conversion rate or let's say the right traction at an audience level. So I want to, identify those products and exclude those products from my catalog or let's say my category or my ads so that these products do not spend more money or do not bleed more money. So now another a very basic question is when you have a list of products available in your catalog, how do I identify these lists? So let's say in case if I do not have the system, I would then want to map it to a third party application, see the data, and then accumulate this data into a report and then try to identify which products are converting and non-converting. But all of that number crunching has happened on the Adyogi dashboard under the products funnel view, where now you can pick up a product. And in this case, let's pick up this specific product where my conversion rate is, let's say, 0%. On an overall account level, it's 0.5%. So to identify which is a non-converting category or let's say a non-converting product, I would want to see the bottom 30 percentile products that fall in the conversion rate. So anything, let's say below 30% of 0.5%, which in this case would be, let's say 0.2%. So any product with a conversion rate of 0.3% or 0.2% and below, but having, let's say, average product page views, let's say above average product page views is a non-converting category for. So in this case, if I pick up this specific product with a zero conversion rate, but having close to 71,000 pages attributed to it, I can now check what is the feasibility of running this product in any of my catalog linked ads. So let me just copy this ID and let me check what is the the profitability of this product in my orders. So let's say with an overall average CRR of 10% or let's say 11% for 30 days. If I check the stats for this specific product, I now get to see that this specific product is currently getting me a CRR of 113%, which according to right now is a very highly inefficient product because if you look closely, it's not even breaking even at the spend that is attributed to it. And at a performance fee, if I want to now check that what is the spend that got attributed to it in my catalog linked ads, I just need to paste the specific ID. And I'll get to understand that for this specific product in my Google, I've attributed close to, let's say, 11,000 of spends. And on Facebook, I may have attributed, let's say, close to 4,000 spends. So roughly 15 to 16,000 of spends have gone on both the platform for this specific product. But this product specifically is giving me a conversion rate of, let's say, 0%. So ideally, I do not want this product to be part of my catalog, and I would want to sort of exclude this product from my catalog linked ads, like across the platform. For another product, let me just pick up the first product where I have, let's say, close to 1,73,000 product page views, but my conversion rate is, let's say, 0.2% or let's say below 30% of my bottom 30 percentile. So let me just pick up this specific SKU ID. And now if let's say if I go to, and this also happened to be one of my highest product page views product. If I now go and search this in my performance view, I can see that at close to 76,000, 77,000 have been attributed to the, let's say this specific product on Facebook. And on Google, this has been attributed to close to 16,000. So over the course of 30 days, a significant chunk of my spends have gone into products such as these, where having low conversion rate but high product page views. And but these products are not getting me, let's say, a lot of traction. So I do not want to sort of pick up these products and run into my catalog in that because they would ideally be spending or let's say bleeding money from my ad account. So these are the type of products you would want to identify and you would want to exclude from your, say, from your catalog or let's say from your ads. But then for a for a brand with a very heavy catalog size, it becomes a very difficult exercise to, look at each individual product and let's say, find out the benchmark range and how do I, compile a list of all these products and then exclude them. So there has to be a way that you need to automate this process, or otherwise this becomes a very manual task of, taking, let's say, a lot of amount of your time and your team's time to sort of identify such products and then you download these Excels and so hence and so forth. So let's say, how do I automate this process to, remove my top converting or let's say my low performing or non-performing products from my catalog? This is where the power of the Adyogi's automation comes into picture, where now we have a system which is the stop loss for products, which allows you to pick up your products that are non-performing and then remove these products from your catalog or your catalog link tags. So this allows you, so product stop loss allows you to prevent leakages from your ads budgets by automatically removing non-performing products or low converting products. So this also allows you to set up rules basis of product page views and conversion rate. And then, you can sort of also automate these benchmarks and frequency basis, whatever automation you want to set. And then this post, let's say setting it up, allow the Adyogi intelligence to identify, to include and exclude these products that give you the maximum conversion on the platform. So now how do I, what is the next step ahead? Just identifying these products will not be enough. You need to set up a specific automation for this. Just go to the automations tab and scroll right to the bottom where you'll see the enable stop loss for product, which is a new feature that Adyogi has launched basis the product pages and the conversion rate. So now you can just click on the pencil icon and then set up your benchmark criteria for your products in your entire catalog, so that automatically excludes your non-performing categories. So now what you need to do is you need to set up your product page views and your conversion rate. So in this case, let's say you can pick up the average product page views across your catalog. So let's say in this case, your average could be, let's say, anything above 3,000 page views and your lower 30 percentile conversion rate. So let's say in case if your conversion rate, your overall 30 days conversion rate is 0.5%, you can pick up the bottom 30 percentile, which is 0.25 or 0.3% of your conversion rate. So exclude any product where your product page views are, let's say, more than 3,000 benchmark and your conversion rate is less than 0.3% in the last 7 days. So automatically what the specific logic will do is it will scan your entire catalog and pick up all the products that currently fall below this benchmark criteria and exclude these products out of your catalog or let's say your category, so that these products are not actively part of your ads. Now to safeguard your entire logic, so the moment you set this logic, you'll also see that we'll also tell you the estimated products that may get affected by your criteria. So let's say in case if you set up a very aggressive criteria, where a large chunk of your catalog gets excluded or products get excluded because of your criteria, you can sort of use this feature to check the number of your products affected or what is the total percentage compared to your catalog and adjust your benchmarks accordingly. Now we have also set up a fail-safe criteria where let's say you keep on excluding products that do not meet a certain criteria, but you do not also want that your total overall inclusion should not exclude more than 30% of your catalog. So for example, let's say if your catalog contains 100 products or your catalog is a list of 100 products. Now, whatever criteria that you set, you would want that whatever exclusion happens basis, whatever benchmark that you've set, it should not cross the 30% benchmark. Or in this case, your product count should not fall below 70 products. So with this logic, you can also put a safe cap on the top of your catalog so that whatever exclusion happens should not, reduce our catalog to, let's say, bare minimum size. It will only stop when it hits the 30% benchmark criteria of exclusion. So with this, you do not need to, let's say, set up every day on your products page and then identify your products which are not performing. You can automatically set up a basic logic and then you can exclude these logics using the specific stop loss optimization that we have built. There's also an inclusion case where, let's say, the products that got excluded from your catalog link ad. So whatever gets excluded will not be part of your active ad running system as part as your catalog link ads goes. But now let's say if you want to include it also into the system again, that's also an automatic process where now you can use the inclusion case, which will automatically include the excluded products back into the catalog. So what you do is you again need to set up a benchmark criteria that include products that where product page views are more than 1,000 and conversion rate is, let's say, more than 1.1%. Or in this case, whatever your average ad account is, 30% above your conversion rate. And then in the last 7 days, so automatically products that fall above the benchmark criteria will be included back into the system. And then you can check and you can set up the frequency of running. So let's say you want to run it weekly or let's say bi-weekly. So weekly would be Monday and bi-weekly would be Monday and Thursday. So every Monday or let's say every Monday and Thursday, this automation will kick in where it will check up the product that needs to be excluded, check the product that need to be included back, and automatically your catalog gets refreshed every, let's say, on a specific frequency basis, whatever the criteria that you've set. So one of the major use cases of product stop loss comes now into picture where you are now entering the second phase of the year where sale is coming up live and you now want to optimize your catalog, to the full efficiency or to the full potential. You do not want to keep spending, or let's say bleeding money on specific products that are not converting, as we currently saw that you could have saved to the tunes of, let's say, 20-30% of your budget, let's say 5 to 10 on a really aggressive scale. You can still save 10% of your total ad account budget by just optimizing your catalog. So this is the power of understanding how your product catalog works. How do I read my catalog, and how do I automate the non-converting products from my Adyogi dashboard itself? So with the power of this, you'll save a lot of your budget, and all of that money then can be channeled into pushing the products that are top converting, or let's say scaling up your ad. So I think with this should give you the power to automate and understand your catalog, and to understand how does it work, and how should it not. Got it. So now this is the use case that we want to highlight it for, that we wanted to highlight for the product stop loss. We've also set up that you can include this criteria. Now one more feature is, so let's say now when you've set up your stop loss logic, you now would also want to understand which product got excluded, which product, what is the state of a product that got excluded, what was the logic of it. So just can click on the logs icon, and within that you'll see that whatever products got excluded because of a specific run can now be seen. So you just need to click on this drop down button, and it will pick up all the products that got excluded because of a stop loss logic. So let's say in this case, if you have set it up at a benchmark of 3000 with a lower conversion rate of less than 0.3%, so it will pick up all the logic that got excluded, and you'll see what is the benchmark criteria and why it got excluded. Very soon, we're also coming out with an impact analysis as to what is the overall revenue impact that this product could have negatively impacted your ad account of. So let's say for the last 7 days, how much it could have spent on your ad account, but because of the power of Adyogi's stop loss ecosystem, this product got excluded, and this much amount of revenue was saved because of not running the specific product. So this also gives you a clear visibility as to which product got excluded, which product got included back into the ecosystem of your catalog. So I think with this we come to the end of the product stop loss. Let's launch and see what features that you like the most in this round. Do let us know your favorite feature till now.
So I think we've covered three features in detail. The first is meta ad sets, targeting the right people with GA level insights. The second is product analytics. For those who've just joined, Pranav told us how to identify our top converting categories and our non-performing categories, as well as products, and how to use these insights and how to use the automation feature that we just launched on the Adyogi platform that empowers you to exclude your non-performing products from your catalog linked ads. So these three features are the ones that we've discussed till now. In case you have a favorite one, and in case one of them is gonna create a huge impact on you, then do let us know. So from the results that we see, I think the stop loss for products is definitely going to help our users maximize profits. That's great, and do implement this. I think, Pranav, we can also cover the bit where people can, enable recommendations, and not just if they are skeptical to enable this particular feature, they can only enable recommendations of this particular feature. So we can cover that bit at the end of the webinar. So
Sure.
coming to the next part that we have, the next phase of the webinar that we have is the smart ad value features page. Just a second. All right. So the value feature you just can't miss is the smart ads feature. For those of you who don't know, smart ads are basically catalog linked ads. So they are a collection of specific products inside your catalog, and these products are collated together to create a catalog linked ad, which in Adyogi's terminology is called a smart ad. But the catch here is we've made our smart ads smarter than before. We have a streamlined user interface, which means that you can create your smart ads step by step. We've included documents and step by step flow of how to create smart ads right on the Adyogi platform. Earlier, you could only create smart ads by using only one website category, but now you can combine multiple website categories to create a product set, which again, product set is a collection of specific products, and that product set can be used to create your catalog linked ads. Thirdly, we have a feature called Adyogi Smart Filter. Adyogi Smart Filter is basically a secret sauce to upscale in the festive season that is coming up. And do mind that smart ads usually have given better performance, 1.5x better ROAS than your generic ads. So, especially this is a shout out to all the apparel brands. Do make a note of this that you have to try the smart ads feature. Now, let me show you how why you should try out the smart ads and how you can implement the same on the Adyogi platform. So the first step is go to the catalog section, go to the category section, and as Pranav mentioned, you have to first identify which categories are working for you. So as per this and as per the default view that I see over here, I can see that my kurtas, suit set, fashion festival, and kurta sets, these four categories are my top performing categories. How I identified this is by seeing the number of orders that I got in the last 7 days. So not just default view, once you go to the funnel view, you should be also able to see the GA level metrics for each of these categories. So let's say suit sets, it's giving me 35 lakh product page views for all the products that have been tagged as suit set, and it's giving me a conversion rate of 0.3%. Similarly, my kurtas is giving me a conversion rate of 0.5, a transaction rate of 10.5%. Kurta sets is again around 0.5 conversion rate. So now I've identified my 3 to 4 top performing categories. Now what to do next? The next step is to click on the top create button at the top, the one that you see over here in orange color. So once you click on this, you click on add and then click on Facebook Smart Ad. So now, as I mentioned before, you can see the revamped view of the smart ad creation process. You have four buckets over here. So we'll first start off with the specific product categories, which is also the recommended smart ads that we recommend from our side as per our learnings from our clientele. So first you have to select the categories that you identified from the categories page. Now I identified suit sets. I'm gonna write suit set, select it. I'm gonna choose kurtas as the second category because I want to combine these two categories. And the next step is to turn on the toggle for the Adyogi Smart Filters. Now, Adyogi Smart Filters are of six kinds. The first kind is top selling. I'm gonna choose top selling. And why I want to do is I want to increase the conversion rate, or I want to promote only the top selling products out of these two categories that are selected over here. So what I'm telling the Adyogi algorithm to do is I want the Adyogi algorithm to create a catalog linked ad which contains top 10% selling products out of these two categories to push these two categories further and further increase my conversions and sales. So as I can see over here, there are 107 products which are top 10%, which in terms of the number of orders received are top selling out of these two categories. Secondly, I have high value. Now let me go back to the deck and show you different use cases of how you can use these filters. So another use case is high value products. So let me give you an example that I want to promote my average order value. I want to increase my average order value. So what I'm going to do is again, I'm going to choose my top two, three top performing categories. In this case, again, we have kurtas and suit set. And then I'm going to say, then I'm going to choose, I want to select and I want to show only top 10% high priced products. So high priced are basically the products that are high AOV, that is high MRP on my website, and I want to push only these products in my catalog linked ad or my smart ad. So what it's going to do is if you push budgets on this particular smart ad and if you get conversions from this smart ad, then you will eventually be able to increase your average order value. And what you can also do is you can target these high value products to people who are likely to purchase high value products. So, suppose someone is interested in premium collection, suppose someone is likely to buy designer couture. So obviously you will choose these high value filter and you're gonna create a smart ad out of it and you're gonna show this targeted ad to those kind of people who are likely to make high value purchases. Then second use case is new arrivals in the last 20 days, 120 days. So suppose I've pushed a new collection on my website and I want to show these SKUs in my smart ads. I want my ad budgets to go only on these SKUs so that I increase traffic on these product pages and eventually get conversion. So again, I'm going to choose the new arrival filter as I see over here, and I'm going to write the number of days in the number of days from which I want to show these new arrivals from. In this case, I've chosen 120 days, but it is also customizable. You can say 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and so on. Next use case, we have products on discount. So let's say you're going into the festive season and you put major discounts on your website. And Diwali season or the quarter four is the season where you want to clear off all your inventories of discounted products to make space for new SKUs in the coming year. So what you're going to do is again you're going to select your top two, three performing categories and you're going to select the discount range. Now here I've chosen minimum 70% discount because I want to clear off the stock and inventory of all the products that are on minimum 70% discount inside kurtas category, suit set category, and kurta set category. As you can see, there are 74 such products that are a minimum on 70% discount and belong to either of these three categories. So these are some three, four use cases that you can use to create a smart product specific product category smarter, along with Adyogi smart filters. If you want to apply these Adyogi smart filters to your entire catalog, you can also do the same by clicking on the first bucket over here, which says all in stock products. So you're going to choose all in stock products. You're going to apply this price and category exclusions. And you're going to again turn on the Adyogi smart filter toggle button on, and you're going to choose the filter that works for you. Also note that these filters are customizable. So if you do not want to choose 10%, you can choose top 20%. Again, in most viewed, if you want to choose 20%, 30%, that's completely up to you. Then again, we have select SKU, select individual products. So suppose you've collated a list of SKU IDs and you want to promote only those SKU IDs in your smart ads. So just like Pranav mentioned, we went into the catalog page and then into the products page, and then we identified some SKU IDs over here that we've just highlighted. And once you've highlighted these SKU IDs, you want to create a smart ad specifically of these SKU IDs. Then all you have to do is you have to paste these SKU IDs in a comma separated format, and you have to click on fetch SKUs. Once you click on fetch SKUs, all these SKU previews of these products will be shown over here. And all you got to do is choose the format of the creative, put the ad name, ad text, description, and then create my ad. Lastly, as a last resort, we have Facebook imported categories. So let's say you created a category or a product set on your commerce manager on Meta, and you want to push that particular product set in your smart ad on the Adyogi platform. So all you have to do is click on the refresh button. Now, if you've created a product set, let's say at 3 p.m. and you come here on the Adyogi platform, click on this refresh button at 1 p.m. Within a minute or so, if you click on this refresh button, it's a real-time feature and you will be able to see that product set over here. So once you click on that product set, you will be able to see all the products belonging to that product set over on the right-hand side. And again, you can create a smart ad accordingly. Now, the one that we recommend the most is the second type of smart ad that we've also seen really good results from, wherein you can choose specific categories and then turn on the Adyogi smart filters. This way, you can create targeted ads for your for your meta ad strategy. So we highly recommend that you try these kind of smart ads. And in case you have any success stories, if you see an improvement in your, let's say, AOV or ROAS, then do let us know. Or if you face any issues while creating these ads, then always feel free to reach out to us. Now, next up, we have the roadmap ahead. So, like every time, we are transparent, like always, and we always share what we have as the roadmap ahead, what we are working on the Adyogi platform. Firstly, we have a more advanced catalog configuration. So, right now we've analyzed the catalog, but going further, you will be able to configure your catalog in a more advanced manner so that you can create, curate your catalog specifically for your performance marketing ads. Secondly, we have AI powered transformation of catalog images. Now, as the image suggests, we see this brand over here. It's a render product. There is no background, but if you want to change the background of a particular product, all you gotta do is use the power of AI right on the Adyogi platform while creating your ad, and voila, you just have created a ad in itself, and that's how you can customize your catalog images. So I hope you look forward to these features as much as we are looking forward to them. And once we are live with these, we'll be discussing them in our upcoming product webinars. Now, I think we would love to know which topic do you want us to explain again, and if in case there is anything apart from these four topics that you want to ask us, please let us know. We'd be happy to address them in the chat box or in the Q&A section. So first up, like Pranav discussed, meta ad sets targeting the right people with GA level insights. Second up, we have product analytics, unleash the power of catalog insights through the catalog section on the Adyogi platform. How to identify the products that are working for you, how to identify the categories, website categories that are working for you, how to automate your ad budgets on the categories and the products that are going to work well for you in the future using the stop loss feature and the stop loss automation. Then Adyogi smart ads that we just discussed that have been made smarter than before for maximum performance. Or any other doubt that you have in the chat box or the Q&A section, do let us know. All right. So I think meta ad sets is something that people would like to
Got it.
have a deeper understanding of, and then we can take up stop loss for products again.
Got it. So let's just go back to the meta ad set. So what happens is, let's say when you were trying to target a specific location, let's say in this case India. So for this specific ad account, we saw that India was a top converting location. Now there are two ways. Either A, I could have left it at India and I could have targeted the entire or the whole of India. And let Facebook decided which states or let's say which cities are better targeted or better converted to pick up that specific for my targeting. Or what could I have done is I selected a let's say specific location called India, and then within India, I have accumulated the power of GA data to check which all states or cities within India are performing better. So let's say at a state level, then I can pick up what are my top, let's say, states basis my number of sessions, my conversions, revenue, and conversion rate with the basis of these filters. So let's say in case if I want to pick up now if I want to create an ad set where I only want to target those specific locations that are my top revenue generating locations. So I can pick up the filter of revenue high to low, and then automatically it will list down all the states that currently are giving me the best revenue across all of India. And then I can pick up those locations just in case if I want to target only on revenue basis. Or let's say if I'm targeting, let's say launching a prospect ad where now I want to target those locations which are giving me the highest number of sessions, which are with a high intent of purchasing, let's say converting on those locations. I can pick up sessions high to low. And sorry, and these states are the states that have the highest amount of sessions generated from across, let's say, any region of India. So basis this logic, I can pick up the number of states or the states that I want to pick up. So whatever states I pick up, I have a chip which tells me that we know what states got selected. And likewise, if I click on the next checkbox, which is the exclusion, I can also exclude certain states from my target. So let's say in case if I want to now, if I want to let's say exclude Maharashtra, let's say if I want to exclude any other state, I can pick up accordingly. So this feature helps you to identify your top converting locations as well as your non-converting locations. So now what happens is, as a future step, without let's say you having to manually go through the entire process of the report, we'll also launch a chip based or a cohort based system where we'll automate the entire process. And you just need to come on the let's say the demographic section and click on a cohort, which is your top converting locations, and automatically it will list down all your converting locations and your non-converting locations. As a use case that I already mentioned, so let's say when Rakhi is about to come, for specifically launching regional level festival ads, you can directly target the locations, let's say within Maharashtra itself. If, for example, Ganesh Chaturthi is about to come, and you know that within Maharashtra, only certain cities in Maharashtra perform better on Ganesh Chaturthi as compared to the other cities or the southern cities of Maharashtra. I then do not want to target my entire budget or let's say my entire ad on all of Maharashtra. I would then pick up cities or let's say select a few cities within Maharashtra and then target on those locations only, so that that targeting becomes more channelized or more niche as compared to a very broad level of target. So that is how you want to use the location level targeting to check up like how your cities are performing. So let's say in this case, if I see that Mumbai currently at 1,60,000 sessions is giving conversion rate of 0.3%, which again is a good conversion rate, and you are getting a better traction in Mumbai as compared to, let's say, if you can compare Nasik, Pune, or let's say other regions of Maharashtra. So that is how you want to use the location level targeting.
All right. Yes, for those of you who have joined us for this session, we will be sharing the recording with you with an email. All right. We have another question. Do we have the option to select multiple filters at the same time while making smart art? So we currently have only the option of choosing one filter at a time, but these filters are customizable if that helps. So one filter can be top selling. You can choose top selling 10%, 20%, 30%. Then we have most viewed. So if you want to select multiple filters, there is a high chance that there will be overlap between those filters, because if a product is a most viewed product, then there's a high chance that it will also be top selling. So that's why we segregated these filters into different buckets and allowed you to make niche product sets or niche smart ads based on the basis of these filters. But in case you have a specific use case for which you want to select multiple filters at the same time, then do let us know and we'd be happy to incorporate that. All right. I think next question that we have is, how do I identify my next set of top converting categories after I've identified my first set of categories and products? So I think I'll just rephrase this for everyone's understanding. It basically means that if someone has chosen the first set of their, let's say, top 30% or top 30 top categories or products from their catalog page, then how to select the next 30 products. So I think, Pranav, you've already shared your screen, so you would be able to address this question.
Sure, sure. And I think that's a very excellent question. So, so there is a time or a limit up to which you can, keep picking up your top converting categories and then, putting them into ads. So unless and until it reaches a saturation point. So now the idea of this page is also to identify how do I pick up my next set of best performing products or my next set of potential products. So just as a general benchmark, if you want to identify your, let's say, next set of best products, you would want to pick up those products that are currentile in the top product page views section. So let's say any product that is getting the top product page views across your catalog, but has a middle 30 percentile conversion rate. So by that I mean, so let's say in case if your conversion rate is, let's say, 1%, your top 30% conversion rate would be somewhere, let's say, bottom of 7% and below. Your bottom 30% would be somewhere between, let's say, 3% and less. Your middle conversion rate or your middle conversion rate would be somewhere close to 4 to 7% of conversion rate. So in this case, let's say if it's 0.5, so any conversion rate, let's say between 3 to 4.5 is a middle conversion rate. So you want to identify your potential categories are those categories which are having your top product page views, but let's say about a middle conversion rate between 0.3 to 0.45. So any set of such categories, you would then want to identify, pick up, and then launch as, let's say, as part of your smart ads using Adyogi filters. So this becomes also very important, where you also sort of keep manually refreshing your catalog by identifying the top set of potential categories. Now, this also moves me to a section where, let's say, on a catalog heavy client, you would want to, let's say, keep identifying this. But, very soon we're also in the process of sort of trying to automate this process as a whole as well. But as the next step, do try to keep identifying and set a benchmark as to how do you want to identify top potential categories accordingly. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah. All right. Again, we have another question. Again, the stop loss feature. I think we can go through that again as per the poll results as well. So basically, it talks about how to set the benchmark rules and criteria for the stop loss configuration.
Got it. So let's just go, before we set up the stop loss, let's just go back to the product section. Now, within the product section, I know that my conversion rate is 0.5% for the last, let's say, 30 days. Now, when I say that I want to pick up my non-converting products, and the essence of product stop loss is to identify non-converting products and remove them from your catalog. To set up the benchmark becomes very important. So as a benchmark, I would want to pick up a very generic or a very acceptable limit of my product page views. So in this case, let's say if my total product page views for this, I would then pick up a range of, let's say, close to 3,000, so let's say 5,000. So any product that has got attributed 5,000 page views, which essentially means that some spends actually got into that product so that it then got the number of page views accordingly. And then I want to pick up the bottom 30 percentile conversion rate. So for 0.5%, my bottom 30 percentile would be close to 0.25 or 0.3%. So any product that has a minimum set of, or let's say an average product page views, but a bottom conversion rate is a non-performing product. So in this case, if my minimum product page views would be, let's say 5,000, let's say as a benchmark criteria, but my conversion rate is, let's say, below 0.3%, is a non-converting product for me. So now what I do is I go to my automations, and then within automations, I scroll down to enable product stop loss. I click on the pencil icon. And from here, I can set up my product page views that any product that got a minimum of 3,000 or more page views. So this could be 3,000, it could be 5,000. As a benchmark criteria, you can pick up average or let's say 3,000 to 5,000. But the conversion rate is, let's say, below 30 percentile of my total conversion rates, which in this case was 0.3% for the last 7 days. So now what will do it? It will check up all your catalog products and then identify the products where the criteria falls below this specific numbers for the last 7 days, and then exclude all of these products from your catalog. Now, once excluded, these products will not be part of your catalog linked ads that are currently running. So let's say all new ads, future ads, as well as currently running ads, this product will not be part of it, won't be visible to the audiences. Now, let's say I also set up my uppercase where, let's say, you keep doing the exclusion. So product stop loss will keep identifying new products, let's say on a frequency, on a week basis, or let's say whatever frequency you've set. But there is a limit to it where you want to not exclude more catalogs, more products from your catalog so that your catalog doesn't become empty. So for that, you can set up an upper benchmark of 30% or let's say whatever range you want to set. So in this case, the product stop loss will keep excluding products accordingly, but it will not exclude more than 30%. So by this account, if your exclusion count has hit a cap of 30% of your entire catalog size, it will stop the exclusion and no more products will be excluded part of it. And similarly, if now let's say you want to include them back, so you want to keep the process of exclusion and inclusion automated, you can set up an inclusion condition where your product should get a minimum views of let's say 1,000 and a conversion rate should be let's say 30% above your current conversion rate. So essentially, it means that only those products that are currently converting at a very good level. So let's say 1.1% or let's say 0.8%, you then would want to set up that conversion rate 30% above your current conversion rate and then include them back into the system. There's also an option. So let's say in case if you do not want to, exclude them, but you also just want to see the recommendations of it, you can also click on this icon. But that's again as an advice is that you can also go ahead with the concept of excluding these products because even after recommendations, those products will still be part of your catalog and still could be bleeding money. So once you've excluded on a run frequency, let's say on Monday or Thursdays, whatever frequency you've set, you can come on the clock icon and then you can check what products got excluded because of the stop loss that you've set. So basis that you can check that whatever your criteria is, if it's too aggressive, if it's too lenient, you can set up and tweak your criteria accordingly.
That's quite a detailed explanation of the stop loss for products. I hope it addresses the question for whoever posted it. We have a follow-up question on this, Pranav, that how to include the products, let's say if they got excluded, if I want to re-include them in the catalog, what does the include case that we saw in the screenshot does?
So, I mean, as mentioned, so the moment you come back to this, you can set up an include case. So what it will do is, so let's say in case if you've identified that your green embroidery kurta set was not working out for you and you set up an exclusion case, so automatically on Monday or let's say on any frequency that you've set, it will automatically exclude the kurta set out of your catalog. But let's say on the same day, let's say on the next run, if your green kurta set now qualifies for the inclusion case where this criteria gets matched, your green kurta set will be again part of your catalog as a product. And any ad that you now launch, which includes your green kurta set, your green kurta would be visible to the audiences. So with this, you can automate your inclusion as well as exclusion itself directly from the platform. You do not need to manually go and include and exclude it back from the system.
Perfect, perfect. We'll take a one last question about the price range filter. So it says, what does the price range filter do? So let me just present my screen to show you what it's about. So when you go to the specific product category section under the smart art creation process, you have again different filters. So if you choose over here, let me just select a particular category, turn on the toggle button. The price range filter is basically if I want to promote products within a certain price range or AOV. So let's say if I want to promote products which are under the range of 1,000 to 2,000 rupees. So again, this can be another attempt to improve my AOV or to adjust my AOV as per to increase my profitability over time. So let's say in the past, I have seen that my previously my AOV has been stuck at 1,500 rupees, but and same has been the scenario for the last few months, and that's what customers think about your website and your product. But you want to change that perception, and you want to focus on products that are within a specific price range. That is, let's say 1,500 to 2,000. So you're not exactly targeting all the high value or upper end products which are even beyond 2,000 rupees, but you're basically restricting that range, that price range to a specific minimum and maximum limit. So here I've chosen 1,500 to 2,000. So if I apply it, then all the products that are within this range for this client, it's not visible. But if for you there are such products in your catalog, then you can always use this type of filter to create smart ads. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in for the webinar. And I hope we were able to answer all your questions. We'll have our next webinar on the 5th of October. That is first Thursday of October. And it will be even more exciting. This time, we focus only on catalog features and how to optimize your catalog and how to take those insights and implement them for your ad strategy. But next time, it will be more festivities oriented because we're moving into the quarter of festivities. So do join that, and the registration link will remain the same. We'll also be sharing the recording of this session. So if you have missed out on anything or want to go back to what we discussed today, you will be able to do so. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to personally reach out to either Pranav or me, and we'd be happy to address them. Thank you so much for joining in. See you next time. Bye bye.